Ha! How foolish of me, right, guys? To think being a YouTuber meant you could go to sleep. I was taking a nap in anticipation of a Fate channel, and I woke up an hour late, completely missed the whole party. It seems like there is actually no Fate channel, but there is a trailer, and we do have refines already. The update is already out, so I'm going to react to the trailer after this. Let's start things off with this right now, because this is the hot shit at the moment. So, we're going to start with Nagi's refine by the looks of it. Ethereal Breath. Of course, shoutouts to the homie PM1 for holding it down with the infographic. So, Nagi's weapon, 16 might, 1 range, effective against dragon, of course, HP up 3, -1 special trigger, grants weapon triangle advantage on colorless type enemies, and colorless type disadvantage on colorless foes during combat. Reduces damage from AoE specials by 80%, excluding Rooker specials. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, inflicts attack and res -5 on the foe during combat, and when unit deals damage to the foe during combat, recovers 7 HP to unit, even if no damage is dealt, and then adaptive damage if the enemy's range is 2. So they added attack and res -5 and the HP up 7 per hit. So that was brand new. She didn't have that before. Also, if foe initiates combat or foe's HP is over 75% at the start of combat, inflicts another attack and res -5 on the foe, and neutralizes units' penalties to defense and res during combat. And also, if unit's res is better than the foe's res, reduces damage from attacks during combat and AoE specials by percentage equal to the difference between res stats times 4, with a max of 40. Okay, this is kind of underwhelming here, actually. So what does she do? Altogether, it's attack and res -10. She has res-based DR, and then she nullifies penalties to defense and res. That's it. And then, of course, on top of all the other stuff that she did, but I was kind of expecting a little bit more. I was expecting maybe the scowl effect or something like it. I'm sure she's still going to be good, but, like, attack and res -10, that's it? Okay, hold on. Let's move on. Let's go to Brunnya next. Brunnya was, of course, the one that I was highly anticipating. Brunnya is like an OG meta character, so hopefully they give her the goods. Fimbulveter, 14 might and 2 range, grants res up 3. At the start of combat, if a penalty is active on unit, unit's HP is not full, or foe's HP is over 75%, grants all stats up 4 to unit, and neutralizes unit's penalties during combat. I believe they added a condition here. It was only before this, it was if her HP wasn't full or if she had a penalty. Now, I guess if the enemy's HP is over 75%, which, I mean, any of these 3 things are probably going to be easy to activate. So I don't know why they added another condition there as opposed to adding another effect for her. Okay, also, if unit is in 3 spaces of an ally, grants all stats of 4 to unit, and inflicts attack and res -X on the foe during combat, where X is 10 minus the foe's max special cooldown count value times 2, with a minimum of 2. Okay, so what does this mean? Let's say they have Luna equipped. So Luna is a 3-hit special. That would be 10 minus 3, which is... or 10 minus 3 times 2. So 3 times 2 would be 6. And then 10 minus that would be 4. Okay, so you want them to have lower cost specials for this to be more effective. So Ruptured Sky, 2-hit special. That's the lowest costing special you can have. So 2 times 2 is 4, minus 10 is 6. So a max of 6, I guess? Unless there's like a 1-hit special. If -1 special trigger plays into this, and it would count their maximum cooldown count values being 1. Then you could get 1 times 2, which is 2, minus 10 is 8. And that would be the maximum debuff you could do there. Okay, also, if foe does not have a special skill, penalty is just a flat 2. Okay, I'm not sure why they wouldn't, but maybe in case they're lazy and they don't feel like grinding SP to learn specials on their new unit. If unit is in 3 spaces of a support partner, unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack during combat. Okay, they couldn't just give her guaranteed follow-up? Why'd she have to be in 3 spaces of a support partner? That's kind of awkward there. Man, I I really wish this was better because of how, like, classic Brunnya is as a merge project, but I don't know, man. This seems a little underwhelming to me. Let's say she has the maximum debuff from this part here. That would be 8. Then she's getting all stats up 8. Nullifying penalties, guaranteed follow-up. Yeah, that's not enough. No damage reduction, no true damage, no additional effects, no, like, status effects on the enemy that she can inflict. That ain't it, bro. Okay, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Let's take a look at him next. Thorn Lance, 16 might, 1 range, HP up 3, -1 special trigger. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25% or unit's attack is better than the foe's attack, inflicts attack and defense -6 on the foe during combat. Foe cannot make a follow-up attack and reduces damage from attacks by percentage equal to unit's attack minus foe's attack during combat times 2, with a minimum of 0 and a maximum of 40. A long time ago, this guy actually had the highest base attack in the game, and then I believe he was tied by Brave Edelgard, who had 42, and then she had the super boon on attack, whereas this guy doesn't have a super boon. And then 46 was like the highest attack until they dethroned it, of course. So doing an attack check, I guess that's not the worst thing in his favor. All right, let's keep going here. If foe initiates combat or foe's HP is over 75% at the start of combat, inflicts attack and defense -5 on the foe. During combat, inflicts attack -X on the foe and grants attack up X to unit during combat, where X is 50% of the highest total bonuses among unit and allies within 2 spaces of unit, and recovers 7 HP after combat. 7 HP after combat, not quite as good as 7 HP per hit, like what Nagi ended up getting, but we'll take some recovery there. So altogether, what are his stats looking like? Attack and defense -6 on the enemy. Then he does another attack and defense -5, and then attack -X and attack +X, based on 50% of the highest total bonuses. So let's say all stats up 6 on himself or an ally in 2 spaces, since that's the easiest to get. So half of, 6 times 4, 24. And then half of that would be 12. So he would do attack -12 and then attack up 12. Which is pretty good, because this should also factor into his attack check as well here for his damage reduction. So, actually pretty good. This might be the best one we've looked at so far. Yeah, wow. Okay, so he does attack and defense -11 there, and then possibly attack -12 and attack +12. That's pretty significant stat swings there. That's not too bad. Okay, I'll give Rudolph a pass. That's not a bad refine by any means. All right, let's take a look at Igreen up next. So we got Guardian's Bow, 14 might, 2 range, effective against flying. -1 special trigger. If unit initiates combat or unit speed is better than the foe's speed, -7. At the start of combat, inflicts attack speed and defense -5 on the foe and reduces damage from foe's first attack by 30% during combat. I don't believe she had any DR at all. So I believe that's new. I think she did the attack speed and defense -5 already. I can't remember what the check was for her to get that, but then this is definitely brand new. The DR is a brand new thing they gave her. Also, at the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants all stats up 4 to unit. Deals damage equal to 10% of unit speed. Okay, true damage. We like to see that. Including when doing AoE specials, which is good. And neutralizes effects that inflict special cooldown charge -X on units, so nullifies guard. And neutralizes foes' bonuses to speed and defense during combat. Okay, not bad. Yeah, this is a pretty good one. So she's got 30% DR on the first hit. Does attack speed and defense -5 on the enemy. She gets all stats up 4. She gets 10% of her speed as true damage. Then we got nullify guard and nullify enemies' bonuses to speed and defense. Yeah, pretty solid. Not too bad. If you want her to spam AoEs, which I believe that's how she tried to play before anyway, because I do believe she came with Special Spiral. So if you wanted her to, like, just abuse AoE specials, that's probably going to be the same thing you want her to do right now. Because nullifying their bonuses to defense and then like Blazing Wind or whatever you give her is just going to calculate a little better there because they're not going to have blue buffs active. So not too bad. Okay, Igreen doesn't look too shabby. Okay, finally we have Tanya here, Dagdar's daughter, right? Let's see if she can actually amount to anything and stand on her own. So Vile Drake Bow, 14 might, 2 range, effective against flying. At start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants all stats up 4 to unit during combat. Deals damage equal to 10% of unit's speed. Okay. And then calculates damage using the lower of foe's defense or res. Interesting. Alright, adaptive damage, true damage based on speed, all stats of 4. Pretty good start for a 3-star demo, if I gotta be honest there. Also, at the start of combat, if foe's HP is... What is that? Under 75% or over? I guess this is over 75%. Or if a penalty is active on the foe, grants all stats of 4 to unit and inflicts all stats minus X on the foe during combat, where X is current penalty on each of foe's stats during combat. So, let's say they had -7 to everything. That would be another further -7 to everything. And then she'd be getting all stats up 8. True damage based on speed. And also, for some reason, adaptive damage. Okay. This is okay, I guess, for a 3-star demote. It's not like it's difficult to merge her up. They gave her what she needed, which was true damage. I mean, you look at her base attack at 30, which is just abysmal. So she did need some bonus damage here, and they did give her that much at least. The adaptive damage does help with that too. So you don't need to run like, whatchamacallit, what's that new skill that was pretty good for Legendary Alm and Hall of Forms? The one that lets you do adaptive damage if you're at the start of 2 spaces away from a mage on the team. I think that was Hexblade. So she doesn't need to run that. You could just give her finish. So that's good there, I guess. Yeah, she seems okay. I mean, for a 3-star demote, I'm actually a little bit more impressed by her than, unfortunately, the 2 ones that I was more excited for here. So I feel like Nagi and Brunnya kind of got shafted there. Whereas the winner, I would say, is definitely Rudolph. Followed probably by Igreen, I guess. Igreen's doesn't look too bad. And then for a 3-star, yeah. Tanya actually doesn't seem too awful. R.I.P. Brunnya, man. What were they thinking with this? Why didn't they just give her, like, true DR based on res and, like, true damage based on res or something like that? Like, they could have gave her the Asker effect except have it calculate off res instead of defense. And then Nagi, what a bunch of failed, like, failed dreams and hopes here with Nagi. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about these refines, but I'm kind of disappointed here. Oh, next month's refines, this is just PM1's guesses. So he's guessing remixes for Legendary Crom and Bramimond, and then Bunny, Est, and also Kempf there. Would be pretty exciting. I mean, the first 3 on that list would be pretty hype. Alright, so that's all for this video, guys. I'm going to go ahead and do a reaction to the trailer now. I haven't even watched the trailer yet. And then after that, we'll cover the rest of the data mines and see what the heck is going on here.